All right, welcome back. Now, I'm trying to make one video a week at least. I might bump it up to more, but I have to make at least one community stream per week. This week, I'm on springboard off video uploaded a few hours ago by Dennis Sperling. Now, what he's talking about in this video is the balloon pop game or TV show, whatever it is. I've actually never personally watched it myself, but I've heard about it and I've shared some clips of some of the episodes. So that's what he's referring to right now. Again, he uploaded this just 5 hours ago. Okay, this is attorney Dennis Sperling. I think most people know who he is.
And on this particular occasion, there was a African-American woman, beautiful sister. I'm gonna be honest, she's a beautiful sister, very thick. Had a brown dress on, some gold shoes, very beautiful body. She's a trainer, probably about 5'8", 5'9". Looked like she was about 170, 180, but well put together, thick, well put together, athletic sister. And when I look at this woman, there's nothing wrong with her. She's a beautiful woman. But for whatever reason, all of the black men who had a red balloon eventually popped their red balloon, at least from what I could see. What I find interesting were the reasons that they gave. They talked about, and the sister was only in her late 20s, so she's not by any means too old. There's no mention that she had any other things that would cause for her to be deemed not even worthy of a date. I mean, you know, she's a beautiful woman, beautiful brown-skinned sister. And if you like beautiful brown-skinned sisters, she would have been the one for you. Nevertheless, all the brothers popped their balloons, and the reasons that they gave for popping their balloons was it had a lot to do with, or at least as they stated, it had a lot to do with her choice in clothing.
Her choice in clothing. Now, I don't watch this show, but this makes the second time a black woman walks out to a row full of black men and all of them pop their balloons. This case that he's talking about is a little different. Because that other woman, I shared a clip from that one, she was obese. And they checked her on it. Like, I popped the balloon because you too large. This one, then it's saying that she wasn't obese. Now, she still may have been overweight. But 2 occasions where all of the black men popped their balloon, there's something going on there.
Now, ladies, I need you to understand something, and I'm talking to the black women for a minute. Men will lie to you as to the reasons why they don't want to date you anymore. And the reason...
Pay close attention to what he's saying here, to what he says here. I got it sped up a little bit for time's sake for the entire stream, but pay attention.
Now, ladies, I need you to understand something, and I'm talking to the black women for a minute. Men will lie to you as to the reasons why they don't want to date you anymore. And the reasons that they will lie to you is because they don't want to seem controversial. So they'll pick something like something benign that has really no meaning to it, so as to appear less toxic or brainwashed, or I'm gonna use the term selloutish, so that it goes down easier. Also, the rejection, the swallowing the rejection. But to me, clearly, they had other reasons. And I have to believe that the reason that they did not choose this woman is because of the reputation that modern day black American women carry.
I agree. I'm hearing more and more black men say this, where they're just flat out turned off by black women, period. Regardless of how attractive they may be. There are more black men today who avoid black women than there has ever been. Ever. I think it's at an all-time high at this moment. So it's a sort of a pivotal moment in black American history. For those who don't know, I believe Black Americans are on the path to extinction and will eventually, of course, just like all groups, are going to go extinct. But the reason for our extinction is going to be by design. Something that was basically, there was a hand in it. There is this animosity that Black men pick up from Black women in general, and it completely turns them off. Since the 60s and 70s, the generation that was produced was one where a lot of Black boys were abused by their man-hating mothers. Now, when I say abuse, I mean physical and verbal. So there's already some resentment there. But then what I'm noticing, many of these Black men grow up and they realize it wasn't just their mother. Things they used to fight with their mother about all the time, many of us thought, oh, that's just a mom thing. It's only mom who always has to be right, who is never wrong. It's only mom who's lazy, don't want to work or work out. Then we grow up to see, no, it was not just my mother. Now, as I speak, my mother is over 300 pounds, and she's only in her 60s. I was in Myers today, and I saw this obese Black lady. She looked like she was around 50 years old. But because she was obese, she looked a whole lot worse than what her DNA would allow her to look at age 50. There's a generation of Black men who feel forced to date interracially. Now, y'all might remember a while ago, this took place in the 80s and 90s. Black men were vilified and demonized heavily. There was a narrative out here that Black women were being forced or pressured into dating interracially because of how horrible Black men were, because of how much of a failure the Black male collective was. That turned out to be a lie. Turned out that there has always been plenty of available Black men. But now, I suspect the opposite is true. Like they were saying that they were feeling pressured into dating non-Black men, which was never the case. They simply wanted and desired men who were not Black. Today, Black men are genuinely being pressured into interracial relationships. Understand, as a collective, Black men are far more prideful. They have far more race pride than Black women on average. So, this is a genuine pressure being put on them. Why? Because they're looking at how undesirable Black women are. And they're undesirable at a large scale, Black women, is because they have such low self-esteem, such low value for themselves. That's irrefutable. When you get people who are willing to eat with no discipline at all, and they're so comfortable in their obesity that they demand that men accept them in that state. They have no plans on getting rid of the weight. They have no problem with becoming morbidly obese. Understand, it's a slow process. With each additional 10 pounds, you can see that in the mirror. So you have all these cases where they're looking at themselves getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And instead of running to the gym and in the produce department, they smile about it. A complete lack of self-discipline and a lack of motivation through the roof. Don't nobody want to marry no woman like that, where you just don't care about yourself. Don't no man, regardless of race, want to marry no woman like that. And a lot of black women, it seems, they insist on existing in that state, obese, and they truly don't want to work. This is according to their own testimony. I've heard so many stories from black men who moved in. I'm not talking about marriage, moved in with a black woman. And she conveniently loses her job and doesn't want to get another one. Try to finesse their way into being an at-home girl who ain't got to work. This belief or desire to not work is in the majority of black women's minds. That's irrefutable at this point. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. The majority, vast majority, do not want to work, especially after they have a husband, have a man, and have kids. And a lot of times they try to finesse themselves out of working, even if they're just living with a man, because they can be considered married under some laws. So a group of women who, honestly, they don't want to work 40 hours a week for the rest of their life. And don't talk about 50, 60 hours a week. They're not trying to do that. And you telling me 80% of them are overweight? And 80% of those who are overweight are obese? And don't want to take it off? Do you know how attractive, before we even go any further, do you know how attractive already these other races of women are looking? Because no other group of women is as overweight and obese. Understand, overweight, being obese, and having a lack of value for life is a problem with everybody in this country. It is more pronounced with black women. It's far more the norm for you to find Becky in the gym, right? To find Jill eating carrots. You're much more likely to find Heather eating fruit and vegetables than you are to find Keisha eating fruit and vegetables. They are so comfortable in obesity, it's scary. And black men are, just already forced to look elsewhere. How on earth can you, this is my personal question, how can you not feel motivated to stay in shape when you are the most single demographic? Black American women are the most single demographic. So you don't have nothing else to do but go to the gym, but work out, but try to master a clean diet that you can enjoy. There's literally nothing else to do. Black women are said to be the most single group of women. They should have fixed that by now. That should have been temporary. Because while that information was being publicized, most single, most single, most single, most single. You know what else is being publicized? Most overweight, most obese, most overweight, most obese. And the math is never done. Where is the black female movement to lose weight and to never put it on? Where's the movement where you're focusing on not making your kids be obese? Because understand, this modern era of obesity gets passed to their kids. And what I mean is they start feeding their kids the exact same thing that made them morbidly obese without a care in the world. That is a massive lack of self-discipline and lack of value for self, for yourself. That's always a problem. Don't no quality man want to be married to no woman like that. A lazy woman who don't care that she got a stomach on top of her stomach. Don't nobody want no morbidly obese, or even, I don't even want no overweight woman. You bet to be petite, slim, fit. Where's the motivation? This proves that the majority of them don't care about themselves, have low self-esteem, are not motivated. That's unattractive. I wish I could snap my fingers and my house would be clean, my car would be clean, things stay tidy. But there's things you have to do. Staying in shape is one of them. Let me tell you something else. Black women as single mothers have failed the black community in regard to diet, because when we talk about being a responsible parent, being an adequate parent, or being a leader, that has to involve putting your family on a quality diet. Health is one of the things that the leader leads their family into. And it's mandatory. When you ask a man, what do men do? What is our role as leaders in the home? It has to include responsible diets. That's mandatory. Do you understand? Mandatory. Without it, you are a poor leader. You're not a leader. When you're leading your family into health problems, a poor quality of existence, and an early grave. Again, and to have women like this trying to insist that they're the leader, sit down. You're not even mature enough to exercise self-discipline so that you don't fall out, have a heart attack before you even start to wrinkle up. Look at y'all and don't care. Here's the thing. Now, I'm telling y'all this problem, black women, it's rampant throughout their population. They don't care about themselves. They don't value themselves. Despite the fact that they're the most blessed group of women on the planet. This is how I know they truly don't value themselves, don't care about themselves. These black women are the most blessed group of women on the planet. They have been given more advantages than any other group of women on the planet by far. I said by far. What am I talking about? That lady in the grocery or in Myers that I saw, some 50-year-old lady, morbidly obese. She looked horrible. You know what I didn't see? Any wrinkles on her face. But I know she was in her 50s. Any other race in their 50s gonna have a wrinkled up face. Do you know how much other races of women would love to still look like they're in their 20s when they're in their 40s? Do you know how many other races, especially white women, how much they would appreciate being 45 and still having the face of a 25-year-old? You don't appreciate yourself. You don't appreciate or value your blackness. You're allergic to it. This is the problem. You get the ultimate gifts. Do you know what some of these other races of women are doing to try to look young, to attain what you get naturally? They're doing a lot of sick things. And I mean the sickest things you can imagine. Many of these other races of women are involved in just to stay looking young, just to age as slowly as you do. You know what that is? That should be more motivation to keep your butt in the gym and eat responsibly. You're the only group of women blessed to hold on to your youth as long as you do. And as women, your youth is extremely valuable. Far more valuable than youth is for us men. There's far more emphasis and value on a woman's beauty. Why don't y'all bend over backwards to take care of it? Seeing that you have at least a 20-year aging offset. In the face, other women, especially white women, age at least 20 years faster than you. And you still don't value yourself enough to take care of yourself. Truly pathetic. If that obese woman I saw in Myers today had been in shape and took care of herself, she would have been dating material. Dating material. And you know what? That's the case with all of you. Right now, in your 40s. Some of you in your early 50s. And you look horrible. Do you know why you look horrible? It's only because you're obese. Your face ain't got that many wrinkles at all. You've destroyed your attractiveness because you didn't value it. Was not motivated to exercise self-discipline. Don't appreciate yourself. Simple as that. Don't no quality man want no woman like that. And that is hella motivation for even a pro-black man to say, you know what? I'm about to go grab Ling Ling over here with her petite self. Do you understand that? Black men become far more open to interracial. This is genuine pressure to date interracially that black men experiencing. Y'all was not experiencing that back then. Turned out to all be lies. Wasn't no shortage of black men. Ain't no shortage of black men right now. But there is a shortage of fit black women. The most unattractive thing about a woman is her size. These women who have gotten on this, on Kevin Samuels, was unbelievable how comfortable they were being obese, and many of them had no plans on losing it. They was calling up talking about, why don't they accept the big girl? Big is beautiful. That type of Lizzo type stuff. I'm 6'1", 165 pounds. These women be 250, expecting a man to want them. Are you out of your mind? And I blame many of these men because you laying up with these obese women. They need help. Y'all need help. It's so prevalent. This is most definitely it's a mental issue. It's an issue of insecurity, a lack of self-motivation, value for self. It's the same problem is causing this that they had during the Kenneth Clark doll test in the 1950s. That's what a lack of self-esteem, a lack of value for self will lead to. Morbid obesity, where no matter how big and fat you get, you keep stuffing your irresponsible face. How can you expect a man to value you or even care about you if you don't value or care about yourself? That's pushing a lot of black men away. Another thing pushing a lot of black men away is this sense that black men, this energy, and sometimes verbal words that they get from black women about how black women don't respect them. Black women do not, on average now, and it's quite prevalent. I'm saying the vast majority of black women I've interacted with, they don't respect black men as intelligent men. They don't respect them as leaders. They're quite allergic to black men taking on a role of authority. They look at it as abusive. Don't no quality man want no woman like that, who thinks she should dominate. Feminist ideologies sunk deeper into black women's psyche as a whole than it did into the psyche of white women, though they picked it up. A lot of white men on the internet complaining about how feminism has changed them too. It's not exclusive with black women. Don't get me wrong here. Don't even come close to saying that. And white men been talking about it for a long time. How feminism has poisoned the mind of their women and is infecting their communities. There's white women all across the internet talking about how they divorced their husband and on some feminist kick. More pronounced in black America. Everything is worse for us. Just like being overweight and being obese. But look at how the system, black woman, look at how the system promotes your unhealthy state. Look at how they promote you being in an undesirable state. They make celebrities out of black women once they become morbidly obese. Only then are they ready to put you on TV. Again, where's the white Lizzos? This system that y'all love so much promotes your destruction. Another thing black men are sick of. We're sick of being looked at as hoteps when we're filling you in on our disadvantages. This ain't got nothing to do with making excuses or being a dusty. We working hard and telling you these agendas at the same time. You can't eat like everybody else. This ain't no hotep talk. White doctors have said this. You won't listen to black men school you on why you're blowing up and being obese like that. You don't respect black men enough to even listen to nothing they got to say. You have become an enemy to black men. You operate against black men in ways other women don't operate against their men. That's just what it is. Black men are sick of it. When you're talking about 80% of the black female population being overweight and 80% of that being obese, you have a serious problem. Okay, you cannot deny that there is a prevalent, shared, collective issue here. Now that's just dealing with the weight, and where some of them religiously refuse. Look, you're the only one they make little goofy movies like this about. Always promoting you being morbidly obese and congratulating you once you become that big. But we just dealt with the weight. There has never been as many black men objecting to this weave culture as there is today. That's another reason why black men are like, you know what? I'm done. It's too much. Look, no other race of women is doing this. There is no equivalent nowhere across the board to no percent. Don't talk to me about white women wearing weave. That is such a tired and pathetic argument. And the more y'all bring that up, the more you reveal how much you cannot make a sound argument. You make yourselves sound worse the more you bring that up. When white women wear weave, they're being pro-white. What about that? Don't y'all understand? Let me say it again. When white women wear weave, they're being pro-white. They're being pro themselves. They love what they got and want more of it. That equivalent for y'all is to acquire Afro weave, something you never done a single day in your life. There is no equivalent. Stop trying to look for equivalents. Y'all doing something that no other group of women are doing on a massive scale. Also with the white woman weave too argument, what percentage of them wearing weave? Was it like 1% of the white female population, if that? What percentage of black women wear weave? Huh? Y'all don't want to have discussions like that. And it feels like I'm having a discussion with a child. Stop making that goofy argument. And it's embarrassing. It's shameful. And it's mind-boggling that y'all not embarrassed to be seen like that. What it tells us is that you're extremely serious about being something you're not. You're willing to risk your very life. You're willing to live your life with other people's literal DNA on your body. That is what is unacceptable about it. That is disgraceful. And the fact that y'all don't even understand that is more motivation for black men to be like, I'm out. I'm out. To be in denial of something this obvious, I'm out. They're gone. What other group of women is doing this? Listen, black woman, no other group of women are even willing to walk around with your afro hair on their head. First of all, it's so rare to see you with your natural hair. That's going to make it more difficult for them. They will not be caught dead walking around their own people with your afro in their hair. Do you think that would fly? You think a white girl, Asian girl would go to their Asian family reunion if they even have them, or around their people? Do you think some 60, 70, 80% of their female population would be wearing Negro hair on their head? Not in your wildest dreams. That sounds like a wild dream, don't it? It's black men's reality. How can you love black men if you don't even love yourself? You can't. No matter how much you try, no matter how many times you say, I love you, you cannot properly love no black man on this planet while you live in every day of your life rejecting the DNA that make him what he is. You spend your life rejecting the DNA that makes black men black men. It's disgraceful. I've told y'all before, shave your flipping head. And don't ever wear weave again in your life. Stop poisoning the minds of the young girl. And that's the only reason why I do this. The only reason I make these videos is for the kids, because I know they get hold of some of these videos. Young black girls, let me show you this. These are your options. And this is what black single mothers should have been doing as the only parent in the home. Black girls, these are your options. These are your hairstyles. You ain't no little white girl, period. Period. Don't ever let me catch you perming your hair, and especially not putting no other human beings' hair on your head. These are your options. And since most of y'all damage your scalps, this is what most black women would look like today if they were to shape up. Because most of them then damaged their scalp beyond belief. Who cares? This is what you better be looking like before a quality black man get with you. You better get comfortable looking like this. Black woman, let me discuss y'all a little bit more, since y'all hate being black so much. You hate being black American. You hate your identity so much. Guess what? You black women, y'all supposed to look like us. See, that's what y'all avoid more than anything. Looking like a black boy. You're supposed to look like us. You're supposed to look like us. You hate blackness so much. That's what you run away from more than anything. That's one of the main reasons y'all wear that goofy, disgraceful weave. Thinking you look too much like a black boy. But like I said, these other races of women don't ever have struggles thinking they look too much like a Mexican man, too much like a white man. Many of them cut their hair short and they look just like white men, look just like Asian men. And they don't have the slightest problem with it. It don't generate no insecurities in these other races of women. That's what we talking about. That's attractive. Genuine confidence is attractive. Insecurity is unattractive. Black men are demanding quality women. And don't sit up there and tell me black men demanding too much. Or no, black men ain't demanding nothing. That ain't no demand. Stop putting other people's hair on your head and stop being disrespectful. Show some respect. Show some respect to the men you expect to take care of you when you old and can barely get around. Some respect to the men who you expect to pay all the bills, or at least most of the bills. As the gender who expects the man to pay most of the bills, y'all need to specialize in submission. But y'all want to dominate and I guess have slaves. You want to be the boss, be the dominant head figure in the home, and you don't want to work. Have your Negro male slave go get the money and all this kind of stuff, right? You only use them for a paycheck. And that's how a lot of black women look at us. They only look at us as a means to get money. They don't look forward to being the mother of our kids. They don't look forward to having our son. They only look forward to having other races of men's kids. If they're going to have our kid, the kid is primarily looked at as a way to get government assistance. Not much more. When they're having another races of man's kids, they're looking forward to showing the baby off to their family. Black men don't want no kind of spirit like that. We don't want to connect and bond and reproduce with no destroyed spirits like that. We are in a spiritual war. Y'all so tone deaf. You're so deaf, period, to what we say. And that's what's destroying us. Y'all's refusal to act under our instruction and direction is what's destroying. That's what's going to lead us into extinction. That right there. Don't want to work. Obese. Body hanging all over the place. You be like 40, 45, 50, and you're already waddling around. You no longer walk and strut. You're so obese, you waddling. Need to hold on to stuff, even though you got the youngest skin in the world. You age far slower than other people. You still don't value yourself. Like, what's going on here? How can you not develop motivation and self-esteem when you already given a flipping head start? On top of that, since we talking about how lucky they are to have skin that ages a couple decades slower, jeez. You can't make this up. Honestly, it's mind blowing to see the level of the lack of motivation and value for self. It truly is crazy. Skin age crazy slow, and black women naturally have less body fat and more muscle. Aesthetically, on average, black women have a greater potential to have more pronounced curves because of the additional muscle. So underneath all that fat lies some of the most impressive physiques on the planet that still ain't motivation for you to stay in shape. If you looking like one of the most attractive women on the planet and aging at least 2 decades slower than everybody else, if that ain't motivation enough for you to take care of yourself, ain't nothing I can tell you this gonna motivate you. We just dealing with a population of women who just flat out hate themselves, don't care about themselves, and hate, as by extension, hate black men too. It wouldn't have been possible for narratives to develop legs the way that they did if that hateful energy was not there. There couldn't have been no bullet bag movement, abort black boys movement, a swirl movement based on how allegedly horrible and despicable and how much failures black men are, which was all lies, by the way. And after these lies were proven to be lies, there was no change of attitudes by these black women. So what you're looking at today, what we're looking at, is black men, and this at an all-time high, flat out turned off by the very sight of black women. This is the only way to turn this around. And it's very simple. Again, black men are not asking for nothing. What is y'all excuse for not going natural? These are your haircuts. These are your options. Have fun with it. Play around with it. You can't tell me that you lack options when you decide to go natural. You just lack confidence. That's all it's about. You lack confidence. And it's at a dangerous level. These are your options. You destroyed your scalp so bad. Shave that nonsense off. Don't ever acquire another weave in your life. Wear these short buzzes for the rest of your life. And you know what you do? Take care of your daughter's scalp. Don't ever put a flipping weave or perm or relaxer in their hair. Take care of their scalp. Their hair will be just fine. And do not raise them to be insecure like you. Don't raise them to be ashamed of what they look like. That's all y'all do y'all whole flipping life. Try to hide from the world what you really look like. Again, shout out to Kevin Samuels. One of his rules was, how would you rate yourself? No weave, no makeup, fresh out the shower. Y'all act like men don't care what you really look like. You think you can just put on a makeup mask and allow us to look at you whenever we want? No. All that big change up y'all do, where you got a flipping whole new mask and whole new helmet face, it's insecurity. Black men are fed up with it. You can't not raise no family with a healthy mind. With a mother like that. That's just destroying the family. Many black men understand it'd be better off to just get a ling-ling. At least you'll be raising kids who's not going to be dealing with this. How do y'all hate yourselves so much that you only want to look like what you're supposed to look like? Hiding. That's all y'all doing is hiding. You know what? When they want to look like a butch, that's when they go natural. Why do y'all think that is? I talked about this before. The butches. Why do you think they always go natural? Because they think it make them look more like a man. Can't make this up. And when they want to look feminine, what they do? Bring the weave. Bring me Ling Ling's literal hair. Back in the 80s and 90s, they was talking about, oh, no, it's just an option. No, you want to be those women, literally. I don't care what that Tariq Nasheed shared a video today going around asking people if they could be a different race, which would they be? And the black people we asked, they said, I'd just rather be black. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about none of these black women who saying I'd rather be black. Your actions speak louder than your words. Y'all know there's greater stigma if you as a black American get up there and say you'd rather be a white person. That's all that is. Your actions speak louder than words. Y'all would be ecstatic. I've said this many times. Y'all would be ecstatic. You'd jump for joy if you woke up tomorrow and the hair that grew out your scalp was identical to the hair you purchased out the store. No more spending money on weaves, and now it is yours. One of y'all's dreams is to be a white girl, a Latina girl, an Asian girl, any other thing than a black. You view yourselves as cursed, and you treat yourselves as if you're cursed by God. Black men hate that. You treat yourself as if you've been cursed by the universe. Black men hate that. You're dealing with a group of men who feel like they're blessed by the universe. Bottom line, you either get on our page or we're going extinct a whole lot faster than we currently on track to. This self-hatred, this insecurity got to go. It's got to go. I refuse to deal with anybody with insecurity issues like that. I don't even care if it was a white girl or a Latina girl. She want to wear Afro weaves. I'm not going to have nothing to do with no crazy, insane woman like that. You can't be yourself. No, thank you. I get a white girl. I want a white girl because she a white girl. And why do you, this worship of other races of women, y'all exalt these other women at a disgusting level. No disrespect to those other women. White women's hair look fly on them. Latinas women's hair, their hair look fly on them. They look just fine. It's just black women that look like aliens, look ridiculous. Look at this. Or let's do this. Oh, yes. See, we as black men, we've been trying to tell y'all about this for a very long time. Look at Miss America. Look at Miss America. Look at the brainwashing process. You see little black girls, as little girls, they see stuff like this, Miss America and whatnot. Where are the black girls? Where are the black women? Right? And when they do get a black girl, you are forced to conform to their genetics. In other words, you're not allowed to flaunt black beauty. You're not allowed to flaunt black beauty. And what black men have always said, black woman, this is an assault against our image. You don't let little black girls watch stuff like this. You don't. But so many black women are mentally primitive and still on a flipping plantation. They'll get upset when you say something like that to them. Let's get a close-up of this. You see, this is unhealthy. This is unhealthy for a black kid. Where the only time, a black black girls, where the only time they see themselves on TV, they see themselves conformed at the mercy of other people's genes. We are so different. Other people feel more comfortable when we look as much like them as possible. And this is stronger. This is more intense with females. It's far more pressure on females, female conformity. You see, this is unhealthy for a black girl to look at. These other women are in their natural state. And what they have done, all of them, they have exaggerated their natural DNA, made their natural, what they had natural, even more like that. While the black woman has to be backwards. It's pretty much impossible for you to find a black American woman who would object to allowing black girls to look at this. You don't show black women in a position like this, in a submitted state like this, where they've conformed and covered up themselves, completely hide their DNA, cover it up where it's not seen, and in its place just simply grab their DNA, their hair DNA. No, my goodness, what are we even talking about here? Do y'all know how significant, how much power hair has? Do you know hair is it's magical. You don't play around with hair. I've talked about this before. They use hair in witchcraft, right? Hair contains your DNA. I'm going to show y'all this video by a real witch. See, this is another thing. Black women are not as big of nerds as we are. They're not as nerdy as black men. There are a lot of witches on YouTube. Real witches who are into witchcraft and magic. And they have made some interesting videos. Listen to this. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Now, I believe this woman is I believe she's a Satanist by some of the symbols that she has popping off over here and some of the things that she says.
So bearing that in mind, the best way, I mean, I don't use other people's DNA, but I use my own. So really effective.
Did you hear that?
Black magic, as I have said many times before in my other videos. So please do not even go there. The threefold law is basically what a sorcery signature is basically your DNA. So this is why it's extremely common to see witches using people's hair, bloods, even sexual juices, you know, semen, etc., nails, teeth within spells, because basically this is your energy. So this is the most...
Did you hear that? This is your energy. Do you know what y'all do with that nasty, disgraceful weave culture? You suppress your literal energy. You suppress your spirit. You devalue and dehumanize yourself when you do that. And again, black men are not tolerating it. And the more black men talk about this, the less tolerant we're going to become.
Powerful way to make some sort of spell work and intention impact you or another person. Now, before I go forward,
See that? You or another person. So, y'all could be doing things that you're not aware of with this culture of yours. You have no idea what y'all doing. And understand, y'all put a lot of your own literal spirit. You basically sacrifice your spirit when you participate in this stupid culture. Because as soon as y'all put these women's full head of hair over your scalp, y'all feel like a brand new woman. You what? You have a new spirit. Don't you? Don't you? Y'all literally practice witchcraft on you. This anti-black, I'm telling you, it's that same demonic spirit of white supremacy. This spirit was passed to them directly from slave masters during slavery. I don't care what nobody think about that. That spirit was never broken. It changed over time. Slavery ended, it was still there. They worked to keep it alive through conquering black women, through working for white women long after slavery against black men. They were feeding that racist, demonic spirit. Can't make this up.
I do not advocate black magic, as I have said many times before in my other videos. So please do not even go there. The threefold law is true. So whatever you do will come back on you times 3. Basically, it's the law, the universal law of karma. So just don't bother. So bearing that in mind, the best way, I mean, I don't use other people's DNA, but I use my own. So a really effective way to do this is basically, if you're doing a spell for yourself, so let's say, you know, a wealth spell, for example, you want to do a money spell, say you're using a jar, so you wanted to do a jar spell, what you can do is with...
You see why I said that, well, I suspect this woman is a Satanist, undercover Satanist. Most definitely. But black woman, you knew all this already. I view the weave culture as y'all practicing some sick form of white supremacy. Some sick type of anti-blackness. That's what it is. And that's how more and more black men are looking at it. Looking at y'all wishing that you were the daughters of some other race of men. You see, wishing that you were the counterpart of some other group of men. How long do you expect black men to accept that? You do know people evolve. Humans evolve over time, right? That plantation culture should have been left in the plantation. Do y'all not see how primitive that makes you? How just flat out crazy it makes you? And this is just, okay, and we're just moved on to hair. That hair culture is a serious problem. Serious problem. See, black men want this. Black men want women who are comfortable with themselves, like other races. See, black men look at these other races of women. They're already in a place that that black women are not. They possess a level of security and confidence that black women simply don't have. They don't have it. Now, some black women have more confidence than others. There's always, variance within different groups. But as long as you practice in this culture of hiding, concealing your DNA that's meant to be flaunted, your head of hair is meant to be flaunted. It's part of your identity. It's an extension of your genes. It's meant to be flaunted and showed off. Any group of people who conceal and replace it the way black women do, you can't argue your way out of self-hatred. Rejection of self. That's never healthy. Again, black men are tired of it. We don't have the freedom to raise our kids in a way that counters this type of propaganda, this neglect of personalized standards of beauty. That's something that need to be cultivated in the home. Speaking of in the home, What type of homes do y'all got? What type of home? What's the typical type of home of a single black mother? Probably got a bunch of pictures like these. A lot of movies like this, huh? Well, guess what? Inside the home, you should have nothing but images of black women with natural hairstyles. Inside the home, that's your domain. You are allowed to set your own beauty standard. You're allowed to condition black kids on their own beauty, on their own options, their own look. We're different, period. We're not white people. Y'all not white women. We not white. You got to accept it. Stop trying to live as if you white. That's crazy. It's crazy for anybody to do. That's just a crazy thing to do. And again, white people, don't start coming over here getting all sensitive. Because if any white person do this, y'all better be checking them too. Your daughter come home, she literally got some black girl's afro hair sewn, woven into her head. You better check her. And that's the only way she wants to be seen in public. Are you out of your mind? Also consider how this is a lifelong thing for them. Do this for their whole life. It's so out in the open. Again, other groups have monetized it. Are you kidding? I was watching some program the other day where they were talking about how that the weave industry is actually produced over there in India. I think I mentioned this before. They donate that hair for religious purposes over there in India. Look at the significance. For religious purposes. Black women, you don't put nobody's hair on your head. It's a shame anybody got to tell y'all this. I'm sorry, but it feels like we're dealing with kids. Lord, it feels like we're dealing with a population of kids. You are never supposed to put other people's hair on your head. Do you understand? Now let me see if I can find this. I'm looking like I'm having trouble finding this. Boy, they be black women, boy. A piece of work, man. Now I can't find it now, and I'm gonna stop looking. Find it yourself. You got some of the. You got a lot. Do you know how much witchcraft involves hair, black woman? What y'all, this culture of y'all's is not just immoral and disgraceful, it's dangerous. Y'all still just don't understand, huh? Just don't understand. You've heard of voodoo dolls using human hair. Hair is magical. And I'm not being, this ain't no spaced out talk. It truly is. It's a part of other people's spirits. So what I see y'all doing is adopting the spirit of non-black people. And you know what? It shows in your attitude, behavior. It shows in y'all's spirit. And one thing we pick up as black men is that anti-blackness in that type of energy. It's a disgrace. That is not a proud representative as a counterpart for black men. Black men want a population of women who are beautiful with their DNA on their body, just like white men, Asian men, Latina men can look at their women and see their own personal DNA on their women. That's what connects you to those women. We're sick of y'all treating our genes and DNA as if it's ugly. It's as simple as that. We are not an ugly people. We have a different beauty. Take care of it. It's as simple as that. We're sick of seeing y'all treating our genes as if it's a curse, when you're actually lucky to have skin the way you do. And to be honest, to have hair the way you do. You got more options. Since y'all like to talk about options, you always got more options when your hair stands up and you can shape and mold it like clay. An endless array of options you got with natural hair. All the excuses you hear from them is just that. Excuses because they hate themselves. Black men are sick of it, and it's only going to get worse going forward. You want my advice? Shave your head, because I know all you got damaged scalps. Shave your head. Rock a low natural cut for the rest of your life. Take care of your daughter's scalps. Raise them up to be healthy, to be vibrant and confident, truly confident like they're supposed to be. Stop sending them through a modern plantation. Shout out to everybody able to join me on this live stream. I had to get this off. And shout out to the people who inspire me to do this work. Dennis Sperling, Brother AC, Kevin Samuels, and I have a lot of disagreements with Tariq, but he really helped to bring me back onto the scene. And I'll see y'all on the next live stream.